It's been a little while since we've talked about the old trusty OnePlus Open, and today we get to do exactly that because, as you can see here on my screen, I am currently installing a system update. This is Android 15.0.0.801, and what I need to check as soon as this is done, what we're going to kind of see somewhat in real time here, is exactly what is new with this update. Because you can jump to this page here on the OnePlus community page where they give the changelog for 801, but the thing is, we're not going straight just to 801, at least not on my device. We're skipping some other versions. My device is currently on 610. And as it turns out, in between 610 and 801, at least in India, there was a 700 update with several more additional features. So as soon as mine is done installing the system update, we're going to dig in and find out together exactly what's new in this update. So one of the new features added on the 700 update is the ability to long press on a folder and use this handle to change the shape and size of the folder. So it's no longer just small and big. You can also do 2x1. So this tells me this is both updates in one. So what else do we have? Adds an option to rename an app group by touching and holding its shortcut on the home screen. That would definitely be useful. I don't really use app groups all that much, but it's there. We just talked about the folders. Improves the animation for notifications and quick settings for a smoother experience. So if we swipe up and hold, that is our quick settings animation. It does look very, very similar. Maybe it looks different. I've been using the Oppo Find N5, so I don't really know exactly how that's supposed to look. And there is your quick setting. Let me know if you see a difference in the comments down below, but it's supposed to be smoother. We have improvements for some widgets on some apps I've never heard of before. We have an improvement to the music player controls in live alerts for Spotify. We definitely might have some bugs being introduced. I'm not sure what's going on down here where the taskbar was being sort of like on top. It's on top of the application I'm using, so that's a little bit weird. Let's go back into Spotify. Is that okay? Got some weird stuff going on there. Let's go ahead and play a track, and I'll show you the live alerts thing that it's talking about. So if I go home up here at the top of the screen, this is very similar to the Now bar on Samsung devices, but the biggest difference here is going to be that this only does work with Spotify. If I play music through something like YouTube Music, which is actually my preference, you are not going to get anything of the sort for that. It's only going to work with Spotify, and I guess there have been improvements to that. For some reason, I feel like I have a vague memory of Spotify being weird with the taskbar on this phone. Am I crazy? Can you guys check that out for me and see if Spotify is looking strange with the taskbar on your phone as well? Is that new, or am I actually recovering some sort of a memory on that one? Beyond that, we have the March 2025 Android security patch, and then we have an improvement to the process for resetting your privacy password. And then under communication, it improves Wi-Fi network switching and mobile data roaming for a more seamless experience. But then, of course, we do have the changelog for 801. I think these are the only two updates. I think it's just 610 and 801. Adds partial screen recording. You can now select a specific area of the screen to record instead of capturing the entire screen. So let's see if we can figure this out. Let's swipe down and we will go to screen record. And I don't actually see it here, but I think I know why. Let's swipe down and go back to this again. I just turned down my brightness on accident. There's a little arrow here. That's what you're going to want to click. And now you can do partial screen recording. So let's see how does this work? Do I just click start recording, and then yes, okay, so I can drag this around, put this where I want it, and it's only going to record that part of the screen. That's pretty cool. You can now connect your phone to your Mac, view your phone's files on your Mac, and transfer between devices. We have an enhancement to the gesture recognition for closing floating windows, improves shadow effects around floating windows. So now what we need to do is jump back over to the phone capture and test that out. We'll just use YouTube Music as a floating window, and if we expand this, maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but you can actually swipe on this little bar at the bottom of the screen. You should be able to see my cursor now. If I swipe up, I think it's just going to dismiss this floating window. It did indeed. Let's bring it back. If I swipe down, I think it's going to actually maximize it. It's going to full screen it. Let's try that one more time. I'm doing this with the mouse, so maybe I'm getting this wrong. Use my finger. There we go. So that went ahead and maximized it. And then there is supposed to be some sort of a shadow effect on these floating windows. I must admit, I don't actually see it. I'm trying to use this white widget as a backdrop for. I don't really see a shadow effect. Improves the shadow effect around floating windows. Not sure if maybe I'm missing something there. And then, of course, we integrate the April 2025 security patch as well. One thing that is still, unfortunately, still not here on the OnePlus Open that I really miss when I don't have it is circle to search. If I long press down here at the bottom of the screen, you can see nothing is happening. Well, I managed to almost multitask, but no circle to search is happening. I have to admit that even though a lot of the features that were debuted or shown off, revealed all the way back in October for the Oxygen OS 15 launch event, the fact that Circle to Search is still not here on a device like the OnePlus Open, a very expensive device like the OnePlus Open, which has been running Oxygen OS 15 for like 6 months already, that is definitely more than a little bit disappointing. But it's not the only feature that's still missing. They showed off this crazy universal search where they could not just search for a file or something specific, but actually ask a question. And in this instance, how much I need to pay Golden State, or Golden Gate, I should say, and it actually searched their local files, found a PDF, searched the PDF, found the answer, and then is going to present them with the answer to that question all in one go. While I would say that it's a little bit odd that I went from 6.10 to 8.01, skipping that middle update, everything just kind of caught up all in one update, I am at least glad that it is still receiving updates. This is a device that launched, if I'm not mistaken, in 2023. It was an expensive device, so it's good that they are continuing to support it, and it is continuing to catch up in terms of features to my Oppo Find N5. Like I mentioned just a little bit ago, that handy little small folder feature, I've been keeping my streaming apps in something just like that on my Find N5, and I can do the exact same thing now on my OnePlus Open, and that's pretty cool. Right now, there's really not a whole heck of a lot that my Oppo Find N5 can do that my OnePlus Open can't do, other than charging at 80 watts and being even thinner than this device is. Other than that, I think we are pretty darn close to parity feature-wise between the two. Let me know down in those comments if you've noticed any features that are new on the OnePlus Open with this update as it does roll out in North America. I'll definitely be keeping an eye out for that. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more content like this, and until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.